We are so happy and so grateful to be here with you all on this fine and glorious day indeed. We are here, we are here, we are here. Just some brief context as to who we are so you have a better understanding as to who we are, why we chose to be here. We are the divine council of nine. We are a group of higher dimensional beings that have been observing humanity and the planet for thousands of years. Even before humanity inhabited planet Earth, we have been observing beyond even the creation of the planet Earth as we saw visions as to what it would look like, how it would come about. And yes, we played a role and took part in the creation as you all did, in fact. And as you all are, in fact, playing a part and a role in the creation of the new earth that you all are envisioning. Now, granted, prior to this lifetime, masters and yourselves did not stay in the body as the planet ascended or created anew. And this in fact has never been done in this way before, ever before. So there is no blueprint, there is no map showing how it will unfold, how it will play out as humanity is staying in physical form as the planet ascends, as the new earth is created. So now that we have, well, given a bit of context to who we are, and that we have always been here and we will always be here, we are here with you always, bringing wisdom and guidance from the spiritual realm, from the other side, from the non-physical, to assist in your journey and each and every one of yours journey forward. We want to, well, remind you that how courageous you all are for choosing this time to be in physical form. We also want to remind you that there is, in fact, activations and codes supporting your journey, your experience, your interactions at this time. So allow, allow, allow. As we have spoken in many different messages, that there is activations and codes within the vibration and frequency of this message. The words are just to, well, keep your mind busy while you receive the activations and codes from the frequency and vibration of this message. Keep your mind occupied, busy, so that, well, you don't go into a state of resistance. We are going to bring forward a message to just support being heart-centered. This is essentially kind of, well, a part two to the message we brought forward yesterday as to just go a little deeper while you are receiving the codes and activations to support your being heart-centered. While we want you to know and understand that while things are unpacking and unfolding just as they are, it is important and urgent to be in your heart center, to be heart centered, to be in your heart space when communicating with others, when interacting with others, when in fact you are doing anything in your life. It is important to take the opportunity to practice being in your heart, because the more that you practice being in your heart, the more that it will be no need to practice any longer. So we will go a little deeper as to what we mentioned yesterday, as to you will have plenty of opportunities to exercise your practice of being heart-centered. Now, we remind you to not believe that, well, you have to be tested or this is a test, because it in fact is not a test. It is just showing you, oh, okay, I'm in my head, not in my heart. Am I present or am I not present? These are gauges you can, well, gauge where you are. And even if you feel like you have mastered this practice, there will be, in fact, moments where it may show you that, well, okay, in that moment, I was not in my heart. So these are just constant reminders when you have moments where maybe you were not in your heart, and how you can pivot to be more in your heart, maybe in certain situations, maybe with certain interactions. These are just ways to gauge and to remind you so that, oh, okay, that is with this boss or this friend or this romantic partner or this family member, I tend to not be so much in my heart, more in my head, versus this individual, I am always seem to be in my heart and not in my head. So then, what does that? Well, that just shows you to practice when being with that certain individual more so than when I'm not with that individual and I'm with someone else. I am more in my heart versus more in my head. You see, dear ones, it is just gauges, gauges to gauge where you need to pivot, where you need to maybe practice a little more being in your heart with certain interactions or humans that you encounter on a daily basis. Some you may be more in your heart or always in your heart. Others, well, you may be in your head. part of the time or always while engaging with this individual. Again, dear ones, these are just gauges for you to, well, maybe practice a little more with certain individuals as to how often with that interaction are you heart centered or are you in your head? Again, why we continue to emphasize how urgent this is that these are, well, what we would call small potatoes. Small potatoes, because what will in fact occur in the 3D on the world stage, so to speak, will be a lot more, how shall we say, maybe pulling you out of your heart and into your head. So these we would call is, well, not so much a challenge as to humanity continuing to wake up, to realize who they are, to the confusion of what they've been doing and why they've been doing it, and the questioning everything. This is a thing, dear ones, and well, while you are always being prepared for the next phase of your journey, the more and more that you, in fact, take the time and set the intention to practice being in your heart, not in your head, is vital. Again, if you don't, you're still being prepared, and there is no judgment on our parts, nor we hope that there is no judgment on your part. We know that, well, we have taken several transmissions to explain how important and urgent this is at this time, as things are accelerating, things are ramping up. As you all see, you are experiencing different scenarios with one another or someone else that are in fact showing you the contrast of being in your head and being in your heart, and the differences between the two, and how you react or not react in different interactions and experiences that you, well, have for you and by you. These moments, dear ones, that, well, you end up experiencing are moments for you to step back and observe and see how much of that interaction or experience you were in your heart and not and in your head. So that you can then choose, well, when I am interacting with this individual, I want to be heart centered. If I am not heart centered, that is okay, just as it is. Yet, this is why I am shown the contrast, so that I can choose which I would like to have, whether I would want to be in my heart or be in my head in this, well, interaction. How did I react? How was I? How did I show up? With no judgment, dear ones, because we are not here judging. Just be with it. Realize the contrast. Realize the differences. Notice how you feel in your body when you were in that, well, shall we say, interaction. And we know that, well, each and every one of you will choose to be heart centered, will choose to be in your heart, not in your head. It just feels much better. Well, and your reactions will, in fact, be different. We know that, again, we feel that this has been an important message that many of you, well, needed to hear at this time. Again, while the words are, in fact, important, it is moreover about the, well, support from the activations and codes that you are receiving from the vibration and frequency of this message. Open your hearts, breathe deeply in through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathing in love and breathing out fear and worry. Breathing into your heart center, focusing on your heart. Using different tools, dear ones, to innately practice being in your heart, reminding yourself, oh, wait, I'm not in my heart, I'm in my head, but that's okay. There never is any judgment around it or where you are or why this happened in a certain way. Just knowing that it is all perfect, all divinely timed and divinely orchestrated as humanity awakens in this massive evolutionary shift in human consciousness. Trust the process, dear ones, and know that we are always here. We will always be here. And we are always with you. We are you, and you are, in fact, us. You are perfect exactly where you are. Know where you need to go, know where you need to run. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. It is all about the journey, the experiences, the interactions, the conversations along the way. As you continue to, well, hone in on your being in your heart center, focusing on your heart, you will see the changes in who you are communicating with, interacting with, having experiences with will change the more and more that you, well, harness, the more and more you are heart centered, the more and more you focus on being in your heart, you will see how your interactions, your experiences will change, will differ, and you will see the contrast between the two. We are here with you. We have always been here with you. We will always be here with you. We love you, we love you, and we love you. With that, for now, we feel complete, and so it is.